Yeah. Do you think it makes a difference, or you just like it?
What do you think? Check, check, check. Hey, pee pee poo poo.
It sounds like pops.
Check, check, check. Hey, pee pee poo poo. I
The
feel like
exact
it's a
same.
little better. You don't think it's a
Oh,
little bit?
yeah.
Pee pee poo poo. Pee
I
pee.
mean, if we're
Pee
just
pee
trying
poo
to,
poo.
I think if we're just trying to
Poo-poo.
keep the consistency,
Consistency. Is this too muffled? Is this better? Pee pee poo poo.
sounds okay.
I double bagged it.
Nice.
How are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, doing good.
Good.
You been drinking a lot?
No.
Oh my god, every single night.
You have?
Yeah. Oh my
What
god.
time do
Yeah.
you start?
5:30 or 6. Like basically, like when I start cooking dinner, or if Lisa starts cooking dinner, I'll make cocktails,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just I realized like I realized it early on. It was like that I was just like, oh, I guess every night we're gonna have. It's usually probably just like 2 cocktails. You know?
I guess I have like maybe a glass of wine like a lot of nights, but only because Allie's cracking one open. She's been drinking wine evenings with dinner.
But you haven't found that you just haven't checked. You haven't like thought about it, or you feel like you haven't had a drink every single night.
I mean, I don't think I've had one every single night, no. But it's possible. Maybe you're right. I haven't thought about it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
feel like I'm drinking, you know? It's just like a sip or a glass.
I definitely feel like I've gotten drunk like a few times just from like Lisa and I will like usually if we crack a bottle, we'll finish that bottle. So
Right.
that's like 2.5 glasses if we split it evenly. But you know me. I'm
My
gonna
credit
sneak.
card bills have been like nothing, which is nice. Not
Yeah.
spending any money really.
What are you doing for food?
Um, Grocery store. We did the butcher box thing again. Like we updated that, so we have a bunch of meat in the freezer, and I'm just going to get groceries every day, or every week at least.
Do you guys
The
order
del-
in?
yeah, we do take out pretty evenly too, like maybe half the time. It's just
We did
it's
it.
nice.
We did it once, and it was good. But we just have been like literally the only thing to like look forward to at night is like cooking a meal and like talking about it. You know?
Yeah, I know. Well, a lot of times I'll be cooking for Allie, but sometimes we just don't have the supplies, and she's not even that hungry because she eats a lot during the day at work. They just like feed her,
I bet you
and
a lot of restaurants send free stuff, right?
I don't think it's anything great. These people keep buying pizza, and it's frustrating her because she's sick of pizza. But
Right.
she wants to eat. She doesn't have time to think about it.
And you don't want to be like mean and be like, no.
Yeah, so a lot of times she comes home and she's not that hungry. So there's no
Hmm.
point in cooking a huge meal. So we'll just order a little something.
So we have a special guest.
Oh, he's here.
So yeah, we got a very special guest. So it should be fun. Well, our friend Chris Verderamo is trying to figure out his audio right now,
Is
which
this his
is
first Zoom?
fun. I don't know. Is this your first Zoom, Chris? He doesn't understand. So if you go down to mute, you could probably. There you go.
Hey.
All
All right.
right. So Chris, I was just saying that we have a very special guest on today's podcast.
Who is it?
Oh, is your friend from the writer?
Wait, how did you? I was trying to like make it seem like it was you.
Oh, get out
You-
of town.
no. It's not you. It's not you. You
Oh.
got it right. I don't know how you did that.
Well, because we talk.
I
It's not like,
I was trying to like do that thing.
Who is it? I don't know. I'm surprised.
I was trying
Oh.
to do that thing where I'm like, oh, we have a very special guest is here, and it's not, and you're
This
like,
year.
thank you very much, and it's not you, and it's
Oh.
a very special guest. So I was waiting for you guys to come so that I could set this up and surprise you, but they're on their way. I just sent them the invitation as well.
Oh, there's more people?
So it's a
No,
writer.
I'm just
Do
I'm
I get-
saying they to keep it ambiguous.
Is it Vinny?
Nice.
Ooh, let's hear some guesses.
Oh, yeah, Vinny. I wonder if I could talk to him.
Wait,
What?
who did you think it was, Chris?
Wait, hold
I
on.
don't-
The
yeah.
bigger question here is, what do you mean? I wonder if I could talk to him.
Well, talking to celebrities is like, or whatever he is funny. Like it's like I know you,
whatever he
but
is.
you don't know me. Yeah, because he's like his show that did you watch the dating show?
No.
It was worse than my story that I told. It was hard. You guys suck so bad.
You don't like it? We offline. We were texting with Chris about how we didn't listen to that episode where he just told the story, and
Yeah.
then Casey tried to listen to it and said it was awful and stopped.
And
No, I
Joe
don't know.
just said, "I will not listen. I just
Yeah.
refuse." And these
Well,
are my friends.
You have to understand, Joe never listens to the podcast. So why would
Yeah.
he listen to the podcast when it's not even him?
I took
Yeah,
that-
what's the point of that?
After being offended, I took it into consideration and got over it.
What was
After
the story?
whole let me tell it again.
I know it.
Oh no,
I mean, I'm the one
Is
who
this
has
the
to
one with
edit this thing, but I
this is the
listen.
one with the
Yeah.
girl in the
Which one?
bathroom or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that story.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we were roommates. No, I was living with my parents at the time.
Oh,
We're
did
your
you tell
friend,
them the story?
Chris. We're your friend. We know these stories before you even tell them.
But so Casey, it was you know what? I realized it must have been jibber jabber for sure. Like I didn't like I was just happy to remember it and get it out, which was really nice because I don't
Yeah.
tell it often. But right, was I giving a comedic delivery? Not
Yeah.
quite.
I think. I mean, you. I don't think you could help it. I mean, I think if you try to make a comedic delivery, it's going to come out weird, or it's going to come out amazing. But it's the kind of thing, Chris, that you have that natural ability of just being great without even trying to be great.
But the story wasn't great.
Oh, my plumber's here.
It's fine. I
got
mean,
it.
the story is like
My plumber's here.
fine. Yeah, Joe has a plumber that is
This is
we've been waiting
exciting.
for, and he thought that it would come at like 1 or earlier, and it's 2 p.m. just when we said we were going to start the podcast, and now the plumber's
right.
here.
In the smack. You want to take a bet? Do you think he's going to be taller or shorter than Joe?
Oh, I
Probably
wonder
taller.
if Joe's not going to show him on cam.
Probably not.
I think
Look-
he's almost definitely going to be taller. Let's find out.
Joe, did you get him on camera? Well, the
Joe,
people
is he
can't see it.
taller than you or shorter than you? We need to know.
Who, the plumber?
Yeah.
He's not. It wasn't him. It's UPS. What
The fuck?
Ups.
a hand job that was.
Did you guys
what
just say UP soup? That was UPS. That was me and my sister. We said UP soup. Which means YPS.
Who'd you say that to? Them or your parents?
No, me and Kim just says UP soup.
So yes, we scheduled this podcast because Casey's got a special guest coming.
Mm.
Yeah. Now I don't know
And-
where they are. This whole thing's awry.
What
What if it's your plumber who just like
I hope
shows up
so.
in my house?
So wait,
So-
Joe, what's your problem? What's the plumbing?
It's driving me nuts. The toilet just runs. It just like slowly water like drains from the chamber because I think the flapper, the thing that
Yeah.
lifts up to like do the thing, is
Yeah.
not fully sealing. So it just keeps running, resetting, and the pipes are clanging. It's just annoying.
And
Now that I'm home all the time, I'm just want to add.
did you talk
stop
to your
listening to it.
landlord? Where's the landlord?
Yeah, the landlord gave me the plumber to call, and the plumber's
Okay.
coming.
Who do you think
Gotcha.
is the handiest of the three of us?
I don't know. I think I'm pretty handy, but I have never tried to paint a desk like Chris has.
Stain
Not
it, that's
handy?
right? Yeah.
I'm not good with like
Sanded and stained.
I'm not good with like aesthetics. I think I can't try to help you paint, Casey, and like I don't think you'll ever ask me to help you paint again.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so, but I think I'm pretty good with like the way things work, and like trying to solve a problem. If I hear something, I'll look it up, find a YouTube video, and figure
Yeah,
it out.
you're good like that. I don't know if that's handy, but what do you call that?
I think
Just
that's actually handy. Yeah, that's what
but
that
like
is.
looking up the information, or being like,
Yeah, you got to learn
could get-
somehow.
What's this pen,
get-
Chris? Chris is holding a pen.
Isn't it great? I
and
love it.
as if he's like making him feel smarter, and he's like talking in a more sophisticated way.
It is working.
He's like analyzing. It's like he's our therapist.
So handy
Yeah.
means I would know it.
No, no, handy because you have to use your hand. This comes in handy.
I don't like this.
Wait, you get information easily, which is a handy thing. But handy, you always think of a handyman. He could fix things.
Right.
But when
But,
something
but I mean, I do fix the thing that I figure out how to fix, and then once I learn it, now I know how to do it if it comes up again.
all right, I'm good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Do I pass your test? If I pass muster?
Yeah. Imagine we worked on each other's cars. Imagine this was the 50s and like we worked on each
Yeah.
other's cars and like I hung out, like came by your garage and like you were underneath the hood and I was just like, no, it's not that, dude.
I mean, yeah, that'd be nice
Isn't
to
that
like
funny? That's the
chat
way
with you
people,
about it.
Yeah, people used to live that way.
I
What do you mean people used to? I mean, you mean like there was a time where like men would stand over a car and talk about how it runs and stuff. And now
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
not those men at all.
No, we don't have a.
But we're not the quintessential men even of our era. We don't have
We-
none of us have a fantasy football team. None of
No,
us watch sports.
Yeah,
no.
so many people are upset right now that there's no sports, and like
Uh-huh.
I don't notice a difference.
I know somebody who
life.
might
Right.
not be upset by this as well, and it's our special guest.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Tina.
Yeah, it's Tina.
Hey,
She's
Tina.
connected to audio. Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Tina.
Hi,
Hey, Tina, you made it.
I did.
This
Yeah,
is
Lou.
so
I-
great.
I didn't know who Casey was going to surprise us with, but now it all makes sense. This is perfect.
Tina,
Hi.
they said great things. I've been hearing great things about you.
Oh, thank you. I have too.
About
you.
yourself?
That's a funny sentence.
How about you?
So, Tina, Chris, what we've wanted since I think since Tina came on the podcast is a podcast with the two of you going. And so I thought I would surprise Joe because he has the plumber coming today that maybe we need a little help. And so we'd call in the JV's JV team, which is the two of you.
Got it. You know, I have a good question.
Oh, great. Because Tina always has good questions. So this is
Have
already-
you ever, and I want to share stories because I was talking with Pat last week. We went for a walk and we were talking about times we got in trouble by other people's parents
Hmm.
and just what weird situations that kind of folds into. Like one time I was down the block and the Vangers were playing, the Ashley and Nicole. And I told them, I must have been 9. I said, girls go to China to get their vagina and boys go to Venus to get their penis. And the dad overheard me and he was all the way at one end of the block and I lived at the other end. He just like looked at me. He's like, I'm telling your mom. And I followed him the whole way to my house, being like, no, it was a joke. It wasn't a big deal. What are you doing? No. And he told my mom and my mom was like, just don't do that. But like my mom had to like play like that. What I did was horrible. Like it was such a weird thing.
But your mom
But
didn't care?
she had a care in front of him.
But then afterward, it was just like, okay, go back to the playground.
Did he tell your mom exactly what you said? Did he repeat it verbatim?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Did he
I
get
can
it wrong?
remember. No, because he can't screw that
Because he
up.
knew it. He probably made it up.
He knows where his penis came from.
Tina, is it true? Is that true then? Do
Yeah, Tina, is
vaginas
that,
come from China?
They do. Absolutely.
So there you go. So that guy was wrong. That guy was the asshole in the situation.
and the thing is, he still lives on my block, and I still feel funny about it over almost 20 years later.
Hmm.
It's so funny.
I would love if you could secretly record yourself talking to him and telling it and like recounting that story.
I wonder if he would remember it.
You might laugh now.
I don't really wave to him. We don't wave.
What if you just went to him and said it, like repeated it again, and just said, you know, like you just talk, you set it up, you talk and be like, this whole COVID thing is like really tough. I heard a study that, you know, the WHO is saying that they're reporting actually less deaths, which is good than they
Yeah, yeah.
originally. I also heard this amazing fact. And then what is it again? The penises are from Venus?
Girl, Tina, do you remember it?
Vaginas
ahead.
from China?
Vagina from China, penis from Venus.
Yeah, yeah. That's where the boys go. They go to
You
Venus.
still live on the block, but now you live across the street from your parents.
No,
So he could
yes.
still just go to your parents' house and report
What I
you to
think
them.
I should do is write it in a note. Be like, just write it and then put it in the mailbox and then film his reaction.
Do Canadians, Tina, have any jokes about Americans that are like this? That are kind of like stereotypical
Oh
American
yeah,
jokes?
like Americans go to.
I don't know what the stereotype is that penises come from Venus.
No,
or-
that's more
or
of a rhyme, but-
vaginas are from China. Also,
I guess
I do want to
yeah.
break down what that would mean. Like that like it's amazing because one is a country and one is a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
what
that's
is the
different.
what's the
Men are from
context?
Venus, women are from Mars.
Yeah.
So
But that's a theory. I mean, you don't even know what that theory is.
is it a theory?
Okay, I want to go back to American stereotypes. That'd be fun.
Okay.
American stereotypes. I don't know that you're fat, lazy, stupid.
Fuck you, Tina. No, I'm
Yeah, fuck you, Tina. Yeah.
I'll say I believe it personally, but yeah. I mean, we're talking about like things that parents hear us do or say.
Oh yeah.
My parents heard me have sex, and it was.
Nice.
Did they interrupt?
How did you find out?
Well, it was really awkward because the next morning at breakfast, they're like, "So Tina, if you could just lower your voice the next time you go into
Oh,
your
that's got to be
room."
the worst thing to hear your child do.
I
How old
know.
were you?
How old were you? Yeah, how old? How old?
I was in college.
Huh.
Yeah.
Still, still tough because
And
you
who
know
was the
when you-
guy? Was the guy a reputable guy?
Yeah, he's my boyfriend.
Yeah, what was his resume?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What was his resume?
That has never happened to you guys where your parents just heard you by
No,
accident?
because we'd be quiet.
I don't know. I don't know if
Like,
they
why would
didn't
I
say
make
anything.
noise?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think knowing our parents, I don't think they would bring it up.
No.
Really?
My grandfather walked in on me. I'm pretty sure doing it in my basement, but I don't think he was all there at
Yeah.
the time. Like he was on his way out, and I
Yeah.
just don't think it registered or he remembered it. It
Yeah.
never really came up as a thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think when it's a grandfather, actually, I lost my virginity while my grandma was watching me, and she was upstairs, and she couldn't make it go. She couldn't come downstairs, so
Like
I
she
invited
physically
the
couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. So what I had to do was I invited the girl to come over, and she had to come through the back because I had those cellar doors,
Back door of Chris Vert.
and we did it while Grandma was upstairs.
So
Amazing.
Joe Gatto has a not a similar story, but he had a story where he was a kid and he walked down this like basement quietly and he saw his sister going down on a guy, and he was so young he didn't know what that was. Flash forward to like a couple of years later, where a girl was going down on him, and in that moment he was like, "Oh," which sucks on like every level to be
Yeah.
like my sister during that time, but it's he tells it so funny. It's the best.
So let
Wow.
me pitch something to you guys. So since this is all common, right? Like
Yeah.
just the whole sex stuff, but it's also considered kind of taboo. I always think like, why is it so taboo? Like, why is it so, hush hush? If
I
we
know
all
you're
do it,
right because
you know?
as like cavemen, I'm sure it was just like everybody was just out there in the open in their loincloths, probably like fucking and sucking all day long, and and then like we make this society where like people are like, don't fuck my kid.
What is your picture, Chris?
Sorry.
Is that your students? You think now's the time to switch to images of your students?
No, absolutely.
Again,
not.
folks, just to promote, we also now put these, because there's Zoom videos, we put these on YouTube. So you could not only listen to us, you could also watch.
Wait, I'm on YouTube now?
Are we on YouTube?
I didn't
YouTube?
do any makeup.
Oh, I didn't
Neither
realize.
did I.
I'll put
You
a
look
filter.
fine.
I'll put a filter on the whole thing.
Tina, is that a mask behind you? What's in the corner in the black?
Yeah, show us your place, Tina.
Oh, this is my roommate's room because she's with her boyfriend right now. So
Are
she
they
let me.
Are they having sex?
Oh no, probably not. We're both virgins. Just kidding.
Oh,
I'm
no.
kidding.
Oh, verge. Oh, they're on the
I wish.
verge of.
Chris, let me ask you something, Chris.
Yeah, what's up?
When you wake up in the morning, okay, you make yourself a cup of coffee, all right?
Mm.
And then you open the fridge and you realize there's no milk inside. Do you ever think for like a fleeting moment, do you think, damn, I wish I could lactate right now?
No, I
Because
never thought that. No. And also, I've done away with milk because it only complicates things. I hate that it expires. I really would only like fresh milk, and the fact that it expires just really
if
just
you
makes
can-
me upset.
Right,
but if I could
you
lactate,
What do you mean by fresh milk?
like you buy it 2 days
Okay,
after.
because fresh milk is like raw and warm and like
Oh, did I
got,
say
got
fresh?
bacteria in it. You said
No.
fresh.
Not fresh, yeah.
But what he's saying
Um,
is like when it comes out the tit of the cow, it's
Yeah.
warm.
Yeah, Tina, that would be great. I would love that because I really enjoy milk, but I hate that it goes back. I smell it, and
Right. So if you could produce your own,
yeah, hell
you
yeah, all day.
it'll never expire because it'll be fresh.
You'd
don't
really have to
know.
watch what you eat. I
But
think
I
it would
like cold
affect-
milk.
Well, let me ask you this: is it bad to drink your own milk?
No, because it's like ours. Like, you know what they say? Like, we should be drinking human milk, but we instead have cow's milk, and that's kind of weird because we're a different
Really?
species.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
really?
that's what, yeah,
It
'cause,
is
like, think
weird, I
about-
guess, in a
yeah,
way.
like we should be having our own. Like the fact that we have. Wait,
But it's not that different from eating eggs. Like that's just as weird as drinking milk from a cow.
exactly.
Wouldn't that be interesting if there was like a commune of people who like own a farm and they eat like all really fresh vegetables and meat all the time, and they produce breast milk, and then they sell that breast milk, and they're
It would
like,
be.
this is the freshest tit
Mhm.
milk you could ever get, healthy and like cold. It's pasteurized. It's like, it's not just like warm, weird, mystery breast. And it's a combination of a bunch of women's breasts, but all healthy women.
That's the only thing that we humans could produce that's sustainable and a renewable resource that we could eat, right? Like out of our body. Huh?
Come?
Yeah,
I
come.
don't know if I guess you'd have a bunch of guys contributing it.
Same thing. Commune, fresh vegetables.
Commune, yeah.
Commune, like really nice, and it's like commune, and there's fresh vegetables, and you're eating really healthy, but then they're just like jizzing in a vat.
I just don't think that you can do much with that.
It's
more of a-
pasteurized.
it's more of like an addition to a recipe than it is like something you can create something with. It's like seasoning.
Yeah, you can cook cum though. You can like cook it like a scrambled egg.
Like an omelet.
Yeah, like an omelet. So
How do you
could-
know?
This is
You
gross.
think so?
I
Or
watched
what-
videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Porn or no? That's not porn.
No. They were on YouTube.
That sounds-
On YouTube, not even on like Live Leak
No, they were on YouTube.
Ew.
or
So what did
4chan.
you type in? How'd you get there? How would
I don't
you
remember
arrive
how I
there?
got there, but I did one night at 2
I get it.
a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get it?
Right?
Sometimes you go down a weird rabbit hole, and then all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
YouTubing rabbit holes.
Rabbits holes.
Rabbit holes.
Would you guys? I mean, speaking of sustainable, bullshit, whatever the
Come.
fuck.
Sexy.
I hate that what the most sustainable things is like crickets because they have so much protein. I don't want to eat them. I don't. But that's like the most logical, sustainable thing that we could make for the human race, and it would save so much of the environment. But I hate that it's crickets.
I would eat crickets in like a bar with a bunch of other things like dates and like nuts. Like if I didn't really know that it was like full up crickets, and if they were like farm fresh crickets that were like raised right. I guess I really, at the end of the day, like if if we're in a survival situation, I'm not going to be very picky. And then
Crickets
we
are
already
like-
know how to do crickets. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like rice. It's like there's nothing to it. You can flavor it up though. You can add some salt, some cum, whatever you want, you know?
You eat shrimp, right?
Talking to
Yeah,
me?
but
Yeah,
Anyone.
both. I mean, any of
the
it.
cricket, like I'm thinking the whole body and the crunch of the cricket and the eyes, the exoskeleton. I'm just not I can't get beyond that.
It'd be nice if like there were bugs that like were like land. It'd be gross, but like land version of like shrimp, where you could like take out the meat and not eat the exoskeleton. But I guess that would be disgusting.
Like a
In
tarantula.
Puerto Rico, they have these like land crabs, which I think are supposed to be both water and land, like crabs, but they
Yeah.
grow them all on land, and they don't even go in water, and it's weird. If you look up images, it's bizarre, and I don't think I would want to eat that. So I don't know.
I mean,
Ah.
sea cucumbers are pretty weird too. They look like penises and they're like in the water. And then when you bring them out, they squirt out water. But it's a Chinese delicacy
Mm.
or dish or whatever.
Have you had
Is
it?
it really like a cucumber? Does it taste like one?
Yeah, it's like more like slimy though. It's like a slimy cucumber.
What's it like? Like, is it like uni, or is it like something like
It just-
that?
It tastes like kind of funky, like
Mm.
kind of like an old man inside a plant shed kind of a taste with like slime on it.
Yeah.
You went visual with that, huh? Yeah.
Tina, how's your experience been throughout this quarantine?
Oh yeah, how
Um,
you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
So you have roommates? That's good. You're not like alone in this.
No, I'm not. I'm
That's
not.
good.
Yeah. How about
Are you are you single?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because you were
Kind of?
yeah.
I was
Like
wondering like if you're
COVID.
still continuing to date
Yeah.
while this is going on, because the three of us are not single.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like people still talk. Like I'm still on dating apps and
What's that like? Are people like, oh, I wish we could meet up, but
Yeah.
No, I think people do meet up though, right?
I know one of Nicole's coworkers said that, or like posted on Facebook. One of her friends said like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but going on a virtual date, which is
Oh.
funny.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do virtual dates.
Yeah.
What's it like? Is it like this?
Three
It's
guys.
You got
Virtual gangbang?
That'd be so
Three-
awkward for the guys like coming in and there's like two other guys for the date.
yeah, feels like three middle-aged white men.
Wait,
We're
I don't,
middle aged.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I mean, 320. How are you? 25? You guys
we're
26?
middle aged.
No, we're 35, 34, 33.
Yeah, 33.
It's okay. It feels okay. I am talking to this one person that I really like. He was an old coworker of mine, and I'm a little scared. I don't know. I feel like once I passed my early 20s, I get more jaded. Doesn't that happen?
Yeah, as you reach middle age.
Yeah.
As you get to the middle age of 34.
Yeah. So how do you still like, how do you still have hope and not be dead inside?
I don't know. I guess alcohol.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's a good question. How do you still have hope and not be dead?
Because you got it. Because I don't know. I can't really fathom like there's got to be a light at the end of this tunnel. So, are you talking about dating or are you talking about this thing?
Dating.
Oh, dating. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna be fine. It's when you're not looking that you'll find something. That you
Yeah, but
want.
like even the idea of like, okay, entering into a relationship and then like figuring out, okay, whether this is gonna work or not, and then I don't know, just like even thinking about
It's
it.
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Right.
It
Yeah.
is
I know.
scary because there's so many people and you're trying to find the quote right one. And you're like, well, there's so many people. So like even if I find one that seems like the right one, the chances are there might be someone better.
Exactly. So how do you ever know?
The good news is I think it's like when you date a bunch of people, you kind of know what you don't want. So it helps you know
Yeah.
what you
I
do
think
want,
that is kind of true.
you know?
Yeah.
Or you could
It-
just be Joe and date two women in your life and you just know that the first one wasn't right and the second one is.
I don't know. I mean, long-term relationships. Sure, I feel like I
I'm-
dated around.
I'm kidding.
I know. I only have 2 girlfriends in my life. Fine.
I want to know each of your worst dates you've been on.
Okay, good question. I've had some bad ones. I went on a date that it was like Halloween, and I was like really cool one night, and then the next night the next day I was really lame. Like it just I thought this person was really cool, and then afterward I think I like shit the bed. I think it was helpful that the first night like it was Halloween and I was like a little drunk and we were having fun, and then the next day I like tripped over a bench and fell and like I think I dropped an ice cream cone. I found out she does heroin. It was bad.
You found that
Yeah.
what? She was what?
She does heroin.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, that made you
gross.
so uncool when you found that out.
I know. I was like, well, now I'll never be that cool.
Yeah.
How'd you find out? She said it, or she just was like,
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
it was
I
like
tried it,
she
or-
was just like, ugh, my ex is like like hanging out with a bunch of my friends, and it's like annoying because like he still does heroin, and like I stopped, and I was like, oh,
So that's when you realize it's one of the things you don't look for in a relationship.
yes, I don't look for heroin, but hey, some people do.
Yeah,
Chris Maltasanti looks for that.
that's right.
Chris.
Joe, what's your worst date? Oh, Chris, sorry.
Go next, Chris.
Well, it was funny. This one time, I was this girl. Actually, she was a roommate of a girl that I used to know in college. I had slept with this girl from college, and then she was done with me. But she recommended me to her roommate, which was funny. So I was like, okay. So her roommate, we spent a few nights together, and then she lived in Williamsburg, so I slept over one night, and then she worked in Chelsea, so then I took the train with her. I thought that would be nice, and then I was going to go home. And before we went to her job, we sat in this park, and it was nice, and we were kissing, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll go see. I remember Bruno was out. I was like, oh, maybe we'll go see Bruno. She goes, no, I can't. I'm going to hang out with this guy tonight, and he's going to want to have sex, and like I don't want to. I'm like, oh, so I see what's going on. She's like, no, I just don't want to, because if I can't, his cock is so big, I would have to get really drunk to fit it in.
Jeez.
I was like, yeah. I was like, oh God, like I just went to see Bruno. Like,
There's a big
But-
cock in Bruno too, actually.
Yeah, so she was like, yeah, because I will have to. I don't want to be with this guy because I'm gonna have to get drunk and the cock. I was like, I couldn't believe that. And
I-
you know who actually the same girl Gordon got with her, Mark's friend Gordon.
Hmm.
Oh, really? After that?
Maybe he was the dude.
Yeah, maybe.
No, but yeah. But what a thing to say! Oh my God.
I know.
Wow.
I feel like I don't know if I've had any like single bad dates, but like a bad dating experience with someone where I was like
Right.
seeing this person, and on our first date, she was like rude to a waitress, and I knew that that was a red flag, and like I was like, I shouldn't keep doing this, but I kept kind of like hanging out with her a little bit,
Mhm.
and then like I guess we went to see a movie, and she went to drop me off. She drove. She went to drop me off at my place, and was like, "You want to come up?" And she said, "Sure." So we went to go have sex, and as soon as we did it, as soon as like I had sex with her, like the moment it started, I realized I didn't like her at all, and like I just had to like get through it, and like
Yeah.
I do this thing sometimes, or I had done in the past, where like if I find myself in that situation, I just pretend to fall asleep. So like I kind of did that towards the end, just to get it over, like to get done with it. And then the
Love
next
it.
morning, I went to walk her to her car, and I was like, hey. She was like clearly like excited and thought it went well, but I thought it was terrible. And I was like,
Because you
hey,
slept.
yeah.
Like it's
And
like.
I was like, listen, I don't want to do that thing where like I don't text you back and ghost you, but that's what's gonna happen. Like you're gonna start texting me, I'm just gonna stop writing back. And I don't want to get to that point, so I'm just gonna tell you now that this probably isn't like gonna go anywhere. And I was going through this phase where I was very naive. I was like, if I'm just honest with people, everything should be fine. And like
Wow.
it really upset her.
Brutal. That's brutally honest in a way that
It was.
If you
Yeah,
think about it, because you just
I
had
didn't-
that was the first time you guys had sex,
I know,
and
but
then
you just sometimes you do that and you have sex with someone, you're like, there's nothing here.
you should have
And-
you should have faked a premature ejaculation.
I don't know. I don't want to ruin my reputation
have like a cream cheese packet
taking
in,
too
like,
long to
in the
come.
bed.
Yeah, that's your reputation, Joe. Take it.
Wait,
take
how did
Falling
she
asleep.
How did she react?
Oh, I
yeah.
saw her face. Like her face didn't really like change, but like I saw the inner workings, like the face behind her face. Just like this fucking guy. She just like quietly like nodded and then
Mhm.
walked to her car. It was really weird and awkward, but like I was like, but in the moment I was like, oh, that went
Wait,
well.
is this recorded? Wait.
Yeah, it's recorded.
Oh wait. Wait, is it going live?
Yeah, well, you can't show her name.
Wait.
The way you pulled it up, the way you held the name up is so funny. Like you, all of a sudden, we're on a game show.
Well, I guess you win, Chris. Yeah.
That was so funny. Oh my god, that's so good.
I also want to know, like, okay, so basically you
Wait,
went to
we
her
have time remaining. We have to do this again.
We have 10 minutes,
9
but I'll just
Okay.
put out a new
We'll
invitation.
take a short break and do an advertisement.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
So you basically went to her room, you had sex, partway through you realized you couldn't come, so you just fell asleep on top of her?
No, she came to my place. She got on top of me, actually. I was like immediately not into it. Not even like the moment of penetration. I was like, this sucks. I don't. She's not great. And like the waitress thing, like
I
reverberated in
love
my
that.
head.
That's the biggest
Well, how
deal
was she
breaker.
not nice to the
Well, it was
waitress?
just-
What was it? How was she not nice?
She was like condescending and rude. I felt, at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know. Have you ever had sex with someone? You're like, why am I doing this? I don't like this. And you
Yeah.
start to think about it, and like you start to pay attention. Like, oh, I don't like her hands now, and I don't like the like her neck is weird. Like, I'm not even necessarily talking about her. I'm just pointing out that like you start to fixate on these details.
Yeah.
Please,
I will edit it out. Don't worry.
please do.
I I one time there was like a woman I was like going on dates with who lived in like Jersey, and I'd have to like drive all the way out there, and it's amazing
I'm
because
not gonna say her name, but I remember it.
you
This one.
remember. And
I want to say something. We're going.
Oh, she was like really pretty, and like it was like a really short like time, like this is like after college, and like I knew her through a person, like I barely even knew her. I met her at like a bar one night, and then like nothing really ever happened. Like, we just kind of like went on a couple like dates in Jersey, but there was always a deal breaker. It was always like this weird thing that was like
Every other
odd.
time.
But the worst one was we were like going to this. We were at a bar, and she was just like, "Oh, my brother and his like friends are here." And it's just like that guy that my brother's with. That's like Bobby Jenkins, or whatever his name was. It was
Oh,
just like
God.
this is the biggest deal. But she was just like, he loves to like tell everyone that we had sex, but like I don't even remember it. And
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
like, oh gosh, that's
Oh my god.
a self
That's the wrong way to
burn.
put it. Yeah.
And I was
It
like,
didn't even phase.
She was trying to like preempt it, like save face in case he said something, and like made it so much worse.
yeah, the whole thing was bizarre, but it was also like, there was like all these signs of just like, binge drinking for no reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like we'd get to a bar and she would like down a drink, or like she'd always like find way, like she'd be like, I took Advil so I could get drunk faster. It was always like,
That's
what?
not how that works.
I know, and you just say like,
Like that.
oh, yeah,
I don't
like
know, it
great.
works.
I don't know if it works, but I think it's also really bad for your liver. I don't know.
Yeah, isn't it dangerous?
Very.
Casey, wasn't there a girl with smoking guns as like
Yes.
holsters? That's such
on
a
her
funny
on her
thing.
back. That's the same one who I think we brought that up recently because she dated me because I looked exactly like her ex-boyfriend. So they had just they just broke up, and she like always saw that like I look identical, and then like asked me to go on a date and was like, by the way, you look like my ex. And I went to her like Facebook page and I saw all these photos, and we were dying laughing because I looked just like this dude. And I was like, well, I have to follow this through. I don't care, And it was, yeah, she had like guns tattooed, like I think on her back, but she had like another gun maybe like on her hip or
That's
something.
so funny.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. She
Yeah,
did not do heroin though, so she was
Right.
not the one.
Prime candidate though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, red flags. Red flags are funny things.
I know. What about you, Tina?
It was a red
Um,
flag.
Worst date I've been on?
No, but
Yeah.
It ended up in the hospital.
Nice.
Whoa.
Thank you.
No.
Was it with a person that you liked and you were bummed, or you didn't like, and so maybe you self-sabotaged?
I didn't know. I was trying to figure out. I had no idea if I liked him yet or not. But basically, it was my gay friend that introduced us because he was friends with him. And then the gay friend wanted to go on a date with us, and I later realized it's because the gay friend liked him.
Oh God. Okay.
So then I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I mean, I don't really care. I'm pretty
Been there.
Yeah, I know. That's a funny setup. Yeah.
I've
then we're all
met
sitting
both
in
of
the
those
dock.
guys.
So we're all sitting in this dock by the water. This was up in Canada, and we were sharing a bottle of vodka, no chaser, just straight vodka. And then the drunker we got, the more my gay friend hit on him, and he was very uncomfortable. And so he tried to get closer to me, but then I was still trying to figure out whether I was into this dude or not. So then I got uncomfortable. So it's this weird like triangle. And eventually, my gay friend, he got so drunk that he blacked out, and he was like unconscious at that
On the
point.
dock.
Yeah, and we were
Oh,
really
God.
scared because like we're like, shit, if he stops breathing, like it's over. So then we had to get him to the hospital, right? So then we were dragging his body. Okay, we both took each hand and we both dragged the body to the base of the stairs. You had to get to the top of the stairs before you could go on the street view and then get an ambulance or whatever, right? So as we're at the bottom of the stairs, I was like, okay, well, it's his time to shine, to show me how manly he is, his muscles, whatever. And and so he picks up my friend, and he could barely lift him off the ground. And he was like,
Well, it's dead weight.
yeah,
It's hard
yeah.
to pick anyone up, but okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. Defending this guy.
He was like, hey, can you help me? I can't lift him. And I was like, okay. And I was kind of like a little bit unattracted, but I mean, I get it's dead weight. Like I totally,
Still.
You just heard the phrase
love that
dead
you're
weight. You,
judging.
you repeated it.
So this was the red flag if he could like pick him up or
He
not.
couldn't pick up a dead body.
I
So
love
then
this.
so then we both tried to, right? But we both equally weren't strong enough. So we're trying to drag my friend up these flight of stairs, but he couldn't, like, it just wouldn't work. So then we had to call the ambulance, and then 2 really strong firemen came down and lifted him up, and I was really attracted to them. But anyway, so then we went to the hospital, and then my friend was hooked onto an IV, and he was on a bed, and the nurse came over. She's like, "Hey guys, like he's probably gonna be here overnight. You should just go home. Nothing's really gonna happen. He's safe now, so you should probably just, you know." So then we both left the hospital, and then he was like, "So you wanna do this again soon?"
Do the whole thing again. The
This
dot.
sounds a little suspiciously like an episode of Degrassi.
Oh,
Did you watch that? Did you grow up watching?
No, I didn't. That was
No?
That
Isn't
is Canadian,
cultural
no?
You're not
heritage.
Can-
Yeah.
I don't believe you're Canadian. I don't believe it.
this. I have a Canadian onesie right now.
That's
That's
a
true.
that's
that
a
just says
that's a
roots.
DVD.
Canadian.
That's a TV show about slavery.
Oh.
Yeah, in the U.S.
Did Canada have slavery? What was like Canadian history like in the 5th grade?
Actually,
Two
we
important questions.
It's funny because we learned a little bit about Canadian history, but we mainly learned more about how America fucked up throughout the time.
The wild, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I guess we did too. I mean, I in a good way. I remember our history, at least at our school, not being like too much like we're the greatest country. We like took out. They were definitely like we were on the right side of history, like in World War I and II, and then they did like be like we had like they were negative towards the fact that we like had slavery for so long and like other things could have been avoided, you know, Civil War and other stuff. But
yeah, we really this year we really hit hard on how we mistreated Native Americans. Big
Right.
time. That
cool.
takes up a lot of our history for us.
Well, on that note, I guess I think we should take a break.
I have an important question I got to ask when we return back.
Okay.
All right, I'll restart in 1 second. Great. Me and Tina, the way it should be.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Yeah. We're doing okay. Me and
Okay.
Joe have been doing this podcast every week, which is nice.
Oh, that's great.
And here comes Chris. All right, everyone's coming back. But we've been pretty good. Wait, did I just deny Chris? I may have just oh no, here he is. All right, we're back. Back up in it.
Does anyone have a good segue from slavery into Jody Sellers?
Wait. Oh, sorry. No. Damn it.
something.
Wait. I
something
wanted
more pressing than Jody Sellers, Chris?
Wait, are we recording?
Yeah.
Tina, who was Canada's George Washington?
Do you guys mind if I put on baby powder while we talk?
Nope.
That's a
She's
funny
skirting the
segue.
question.
That's a fun segue.
Yeah.
Trying not
Speaking
to
of
use,
baby,
yeah, I don't want to use deodorant because I want my natural smells to be prominent during this quarantine. So I'm putting baby powder in replacement.
You're gonna get on your computer right now.
doesn't baby powder have asbestos in it?
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
But I
think,
Yeah, baby powder's not the best thing.
I don't think they put it in the ingredients, but I think baby powder's bad because they say that like when like a lifelong barber dies and they like open up their lungs, it's like filled with baby powder and hair.
They always make it a point to open up barbers' lungs.
Yeah, sure. I don't know, Joe.
Well, if you wanted to take this to court, maybe have a class action lawsuit.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Do you know what I do want to take to court though?
Oh, tell us.
I want to
I
protest.
have something too.
Okay. Do you want to
go? No, go. I'm just excited.
I want to protest receptionist rights because every time I've been a receptionist, okay, the whole point of being a receptionist, I get it. It's to be front of house. You're representing the company. You have to be professional, very sleek and clean, right? But people forget receptionists are humans. Okay, we need to drink and shit and eat like the rest of everyone. Okay. Yep. So every time I have a receptionist job, I always have food beside me because I get super hungry throughout the day. And I would just start eating, right? Sometimes I eat a whole egg. Sometimes I eat a chicken leg. But essentially what I'm
Well, which one first? The chicken or the egg?
Oh. essentially I'll eat throughout the day, and what I'm trying to say to the world is, hey, I'm here for you, but I'm also nourishing myself and
Okay.
having my own self-care.
So who do we think we sue there?
I don't
Is there
know.
a union? I wonder if because like it's almost like a doorman kind of thing, like you're,
Yeah.
and there's a doorman union. I wonder if there's a receptionist.
I
Well,
wonder what
Jody
Jody
Sellers,
can do.
he has a receptionist. Maybe we can ask her take on it.
That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
idea.
Although I don't know if she's in the office right now. They might be working virtually.
I truly don't think receptionists should get in trouble for eating or hacking down food. I don't know. It's just
You
me.
think you should have immunity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jody can probably take care of that for you. You can reach him if you
if
want to
you
give him a
got
call,
fought,
Tina. His number is 770. Um,
4851
415-9848.
9848
That's 770-415-9848.
48.
Okay.
Let's all do it around the clock. Let's do number by number.
Oh, okay, fun. Okay, I'll go first. Well, I don't know where everyone is. Let's just see what happens.
Okay,
7?
7.
8.
No.
Nope.
Okay, what's
So
that?
it's 7?
7.
6.
No.
Oh, 0. Oh, 0. Okay, I see
Yes,
you.
yes.
All right, got you. Thanks.
7?
7.
0.
Tina?
4.
1?
5.
8.
Close.
7?
7.
4.
No.
Oh, 0, 0, 0, 0.
That's Jody Sellers at 7?
7.
0.
4.
1?
5.
9.
8. Sorry.
No, you. Oh, gotcha. Tina?
Well, Joe is below me, and Casey's
Well, you don't below me, otherwise I'll call.
Ooh.
770-415-9848. I'm
Oh,
just
you
gonna,
didn't want to get it?
I don't think we're gonna get it.
You know what I do whenever I give it really slow. I think you guys do that. Like I hate when people give phone numbers fast. It's not helping anybody.
770-415-9848. I like that.
I hate. I didn't even get any of those numbers.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
You
know
know,
what I
the Sellers Law Firm though is
Oh, yeah. How was
I
Jody
wonder if he could can he start a union? Do lawyers do that?
Oh yeah, who starts the union?
I'm
His
sure an
girlfriend?
attorney is involved.
I don't think it's a union thing. Oh, you mean like if he helped someone else start one
Yeah, or if I want to sue my barber for using baby
for
powder.
eating
Ooh.
too much hair? Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating all my hair.
Yeah.
my glorious hair.
I don't know.
Chris, did you have another question, or was it the George Washington thing, or a lawsuit?
Oh, you know what I did the other day, and I was thinking I was on a jog, and
He's
and
upgraded to a marker now instead of a pen.
I know.
and there was a guy on a motorcycle, and he zoomed by, and then he stopped at a light, and I was coming up behind him, so he was here, and I said, if this guy revs and I'm passing him, I'm gonna give him a stink face. Why is he gonna rev? So he did. He revved and he went around and he went vroom, and I went like this, so telling everybody, I said cut it out, that's not cool. And then I went running, so he was still at the light, and I went running, and then he just zoomed by me super loud. Now, I try to like everybody for who they are and try to find the good in everything. And I would love to ride a motorcycle. I'm kind of jealous. But what is the point of revving so loud? Because I get so startled, and I hate it.
Startled.
And then whenever I'm running and people do it, I just scream no, and I get so startled and shooken up. One, do you guys get? I get shooken up like if I had popcorn, it would go in the air,
Well, there's a
and
point
also,
to
but
it.
wait, I want to see how do I appreciate the noise?
There's a point to it. Like people on motorcycles are in danger a lot of the time because they're not seen by motorists. It's not like a car. People don't expect a motorcycle. They're not really looking out for it, and it's easy to miss it and hit this person. So part of it is
Okay.
like to use noise to make your presence known.
Ugh.
But some people take it too far, I would say, and really jerk off that throttle, and it's a bit much. But there is supposed to be a reason for it,
Thank
Now,
you
yeah.
for that.
residential
That does
areas,
help me a little bit.
no one
What
around.
what I do, Chris, is when I hear the motorcycle and it's really loud. Same thing with like a muscle car that's got like that really loud thing.
Oh,
I just I look and I smile because it's just like the corniest person that's ever lived. Like a person who spent so much money to be like the corniest
the
herb of all
loudest.
time. Yeah, so
Well,
like
I always say whenever I see a person with like a car like that, or even like a souped up Honda or something, I'm like, it makes me realize like that person must have a very large penis. Like that, there's no other reason that they would have that.
and that's hard because then
You know?
they're gonna go on a date with that woman who needs to get drunk to have sex with you.
Yeah.
You know?
I was at I went to Times Square last night. I convinced Allie to go with me, and
Wow.
I thought it was gonna be kind of cool and like empty and like kind of interesting, and it was like harrowing, depressing. It was fucked up. It was weird. It was like,
Why was it harrowing?
Yeah.
well, there was like
It
human
always-
shit. There was a lot of human shit around, like on the streets
What?
and on the sidewalks.
What are you
There were-
talking about?
Oh,
There was
poor
human shit.
people. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and there's unhinged people like wandering around, like
Shit.
there's no like you're one if you're there like visiting Times Square right now, you're one of the few people that they can come asking for money, and like they get really close to you, and like considering what's going on, you don't want anyone near your face, you know, and it's really intense. Like their law of averages just went down. You know, they could ask like 100 people a day for money and they do okay. Now you're probably one of 6 people that are going to see that day, and they're not going to leave you alone. And
Holy shit.
we saw like a woman just wandering the streets screaming, and there was like a motorcade of like an ambulance and like cop bikes and cop cars. There were like 20 cars all rushing somewhere. It's just weird. It's very like, like Mad Max feeling or something.
What'd you just have in your mouth?
A piece of lint or hair maybe from this blanket I'm using. But
How is the rest of the city? I mean, not to take away, but
it's not like dead, but it is, easy to get around. There's not a lot of cars. But here's
Yeah.
another thing that's in Times Square right now. It's just a bunch of these weird like ricer cars. These like Honda, like souped up Mazda CRXs. You know,
They're probably taking
it's called a
pictures.
ricer car?
that's what I heard in college. A ricer is like when you add a bunch of like aesthetic upgrades to your car that don't really improve its performance.
Mhm.
Have you
I'm
heard
gonna
that?
call
Anyone
racism.
else? No,
I'm gonna call racism on that.
I didn't.
Ricer car is a car which has unnecessary modifications to make it mostly only look faster.
Right.
The most common modifications are, but not limited to, huge exhaust that serves no purpose but to make the car louder.
Where are you?
Herb status. Large spoiler on the back that looks like something made for the Boeing 747. Who made this article?
Is this Urban Dictionary?
Dictionary. No, it's
Dictionary.
Quora.com. Rice burner is a pejorative term used for Japanese motorcycles. Oh God.
Well,
Well-
you know what? It's funny because I used to play Need for Speed Underground, which you want to soup up your car, but a big thing was like photo ops. I think people would want the photo op in Times Square of their car.
It was just so lame. And so when you
Oh,
think
yeah,
about
super
Mad
lame.
Max has all those muscle cars and stuff, and like they're cool cars, like in the real like Armageddon or Apocalypse world, like it's just gonna be a bunch of these lame Mazdas with spoilers. Like that's what's gonna be around.
If I
Yeah.
could, if I had a lot of money, I would love to get an old car and take care of it.
Sure.
But like not like a, not soup up a car, but like matching the leather fabric, trying to get the original stuff. It must be it's like a little moving museum. I would
Yeah,
love
my uncle's getting a Pontiac Sunbird and it looks so cool.
Oh,
It's like from the 70s, just to
wow.
do it.
Yeah, I would. I don't know though. I would want like I don't really love cars. I like I do like station wagons. I've always liked those. So I would like to maybe like have a Volvo station wagon, like the old one that like kind of looks weird, like looks like something that like
Yeah.
John Kennedy would drive or something. I don't know.
I'm
But-
going to ask you guys, what were your childhood cars? What did you drive when you were like little?
Like
what
our parents,
like in 1992 or whatever.
a Mercury
Like,
Cougar.
Whoa, what is
Cougar.
that? I never even heard of
It's
that.
like a
Look-
2-door. My dad had this like 2-door like sort of sporty thing. Honda Prelude. We went through a lot of cars. Honda Prelude, Oldsmobile Aurora.
Oh, I remember the Aurora. I think you remember you having that. I think.
Yeah.
Wow. The Mercury Cougar looks cool. My dad had like would lease, obviously, because he's Dan
Oh.
Jost. And so we would have like a different van every 4 years that was like
Van.
always like a Town and Country Chrysler or like something like that. And and he would always change the color and be so excited because it would be like, got the red one now, and it's like, oh, the white one, wanted to try it, and like, going with this one's called champagne.
Champagne was a big color. Yeah, that.
Yeah, he was excited for that. And then my grandfather had let me get this right. I think he had a blue Volvo. And then my mom had a red Volvo. And then my grandpa's Volvo like eventually died. And he took the red one, and my mom got a new Volvo, which like she never really drove because like we would go everywhere in the van. So it like stayed in our garage for like until now. And it only has like 25,000 miles on it, or 20,000 miles, which is insane. And it's cool. That's the I kind of want that car, to be honest. I'm not really one to be like, I need to find all the original stuff. Like if I did have like an old car, I'd be like, give me the newest engine, but make it like put it inside, so you don't, obviously you wouldn't see it. I don't care if it has to run on the original engine.
Right.
Does that matter to
Yeah,
you?
Tina, do you care about the original engine? Like, where do you stand with that? Oh, I think my plumber might be calling me. Hold on.
Okay.
Ooh.
Of course.
Well, Tina, what was your family car growing up?
It was a minivan. It was a
Yeah,
red minivan. I did have a question. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go on, Tina.
Chris, are you Jewish?
Iggy, no. What, are you looking at my schnoz? Was that a nice thing to say? No, I'm Italian.
I think you made it worse, Chris.
Yeah, I think I made it worse. I don't know, but I noticed my nose. I'm Italian. My scar hurts for some reason. I don't know why.
Why do you ask, Tina?
I thought I could guess ethnicities right by this point, but I clearly can't.
Chris, are you only Italian?
And a little Hungarian.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
But no, Chris is he's a Catholic boy. He loves God and Jesus.
Oh,
You know
really?
what? Yeah, well, no, but I love, and poor Nicole, my wife, I sing about Jesus every day. It's
What?
just like, yeah, I just say he died for us. I love singing that stuff because it's so weird.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Like, first of all, he died for us, but I didn't ask for that. He died for me, but I didn't. I'm 7. What does this mean to me? That I'm going to eat your body a little bit? What? Like, what are you telling me? Like,
Yeah.
and it sucks because I think religion could be beneficial, but when you tell these things to a 7-year-old, you're forced to hate it because it doesn't make any sense. It's just like
The recipe for OCD too. Like,
yeah, it's weird stuff to tell a kid he died for your sins.
Here,
All right,
eat his body. Drink his blood.
What car is this?
Those-
What
I'm
car
a
are we talking
vampire.
about? I missed something.
Chariot.
Yeah, that's good. The Ford Jesus.
Uh-huh.
They'd get in so much trouble, but that,
I think it'd be a top seller, yeah.
Wait, so Chris, did you have to do like confessionals growing up then?
Yeah, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. This has been 2
So what
months
did you
since my last
confess?
confession.
What did you confess then?
I
Dashboard
always said, I
confessional.
lied. I said bad things. I wasn't nice to my mother or father. Those are like the first 3 I just spat out.
did you never said I had impure thoughts?
Oh, I said that all the time. I always did.
I had impure thoughts.
That just means you jerked off, yeah.
It's a great catch-all. Yeah. I looked at, I mean, no, but that means like I looked at like pornography.
I looked at it, I thought about it, I touched it.
Yeah.
I touched it.
Yeah. What's the deal with like, it has been this many days? Like, who's really counting the days between confessions? You know what I mean? It has been 102 days.
That's what I'm confused about. Like, as a religious person, you're not supposed to masturbate. Like, it's not a thing.
Because it's
Yeah.
you're coveting yourself.
Yeah, I think it's like,
You're not supposed to like yourself.
yeah, I think it's like, yeah, I think it's yeah, you're having these impure
Too much
thoughts.
of a
Like,
good.
yeah, you're not supposed to be doing it.
You think we could rattle off the 10 Commandments without looking them up? Tina, are you?
I love this. Let's do it. All right. So first
Tina,
one.
Wait, are you Catholic or?
No, my parents are Buddhist, but I'm agnostic.
Can you think of the 10 Commandments? Do you know what they are at all?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill.
Those are 2 for sure.
Thou shalt not be masturbating. Thou shalt wait till marriage. If thou
Oh, go on. Yeah, no, go on. Yeah.
If thou speaks of God poorly, thou will get lightning struck down. Thou cannot lose wedding ring. Thou must abstain from blanking out. I'll get back to thou shall always rise to the best of their ability. Thou shall be nothing less than what is expected of the average human, and thou shalt always be a slave to God.
Wow. Nailed it, I think. Was
The
that 10
fact
or
that you
like
start
15?
with that thou just like reels me in.
It
I'm
elevates
like,
it, yeah.
yeah, like okay, yeah. But
Okay.
don't lose your wedding ring.
All right. So I have two versions. One is called 10 Commandments Cowboy Style, which I think is just something that's sold on Amazon. We'll start with that. Wow, it's actually accurate to what I think it is. So we're going to use that.
Wait, hold on. Tina, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Did you just fart and let the fart out of the door or something?
No, it's my cat or
Oh.
my.
Can I see her? Well, we'll talk about cats
Gone.
later.
It's gone now.
Commandments now.
All
Cats
right.
later.
Here we go. So Chris, I want you to get it in order.
I know the top three are like the cardinal ones,
All right.
right?
What do you got? Yeah.
And I know number 4 is thou not shall not kill.
No, it's not. I mean, that is one of them, but I don't think that's 4.
Thou shalt honor your father and mother. That's one.
Yeah.
Okay, thou shalt not kill is
Wait,
one.
no, that's not number 1. That's not number
I
1.
know. Number 1? I don't know if I'm going to get number 1. I remember the top 3 are keep holy the Sabbath is number 3.
No, that's number 4. That's the one that you thought was 4.
Damn it. All right, so I'm getting 3. Use God name in vain. That's
All right.
I can't do them in order, Casey.
I'm going to tell you cowboy style. Okay, number 1. Y'all have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt not have other God. Yeah.
2, no making idols.
Oh, false idols. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3, when y'all use my name, y'all better mean it. Don't use God's name in vain, I think.
Yeah.
Number 4, lay off the trail one day a week.
Wow.
What is that?
Keep holy the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Lay off
5, mind your ma and pa. 6, no killing folks. 7, dance with who brung ya. What is that? Oh, that means
stay
like
with your
adultery?
wife. Don't cheat.
yeah, don't cheat. Yeah,
Don't commit adultery.
dance with who brung ya.
Wow.
8, well, I don't get this one. 8, no swapping. Oh, I know what it is. Stealing.
Oh,
8, no swapping.
or not. Don't covet your neighbor's wife is one.
Oh, yeah, maybe that.
But thou shalt not steal.
Oh, no. Number 9 is no lion, LYIN, and 10 is no hankering for the things that ain't yours. This is amazing. This is $11.46, $11.46 on Amazon if you want this.
Wait, what is it's like a cloth or is it an actual tablet?
It's
Funny.
a metal sign that's Treasure Gurus, the 10 Commandments, cowboy style metal sign, funny Christian home wall decor.
I like that.
Yeah, we can
I
get
like
for-
that. And those are just the top 10 commandments. There's
What do
so
you
many
mean?
more. I don't know.
There's Beatitudes. There's the 8
There
Beatitudes.
wasn't there another one that he threw and broke?
That's from
That's from the
History of
Book of Mormon.
That's what?
from
Isn't that the-
Mel Brooks gag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there were 15 and he broke one? He
Yeah,
dropped
like
it.
he had like 3 and he dropped one.
Yeah. But I thought the real story is that he threw it down. He was so pissed, and so they only had like the 10 because he was pissed that he came down and people were like worshiping another god. Wasn't that the whole golden goose or something? Come on, guys.
Calf. It was a calf.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Tina,
Great.
What is Buddhist? What is the Buddhist 10 Commandments?
I don't really know. I mean, I think the underlying thought of Buddhism is life is shit, and if you can accept it, you'll have a better time.
It seems negative.
I got it. I got the 10 Commandments of Buddhism.
Oh,
Cowboy style?
Cowboy.
I'll make them cowboy style. Okay, the 10 Commandments of Buddhism. Ready? Do
Yeah.
not destroy life.
Oh.
Do not take what is not given to you. Do
Mm.
not commit adultery. Wow, that's a double dip. Tell no lies and deceive no one. Do
Mm.
not become intoxicated. Wow.
Oh.
eat temperately and not at all in the afternoons. What? Fun. Do not watch dancing nor listen to singing or plays.
Really?
Wear no garlands, perfume, or any adornments. This really does seem cowboy style. Sleep not in luxurious beds. Accept no gold or silver. Wow.
What about frankincense?
That's pretty cool. That actually is cowboy style. You got to sleep on hay.
Did you just type in Buddhist 10 Commandments? Is that it?
Yeah, of course I did.
I don't think there are 10 commandments of Buddhism, right? It's just there are
So,
many tenets of it.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
This
what
is
do they
called the
have?
10 Commandments of Buddhism, and I'm on EnglishForStudents.com. What do you want from me?
what's they don't have the Koran? No.
They have the 5 precepts, too. I find that on Wikipedia. The 5 precepts. There's 5 rules. Okay. Do you want to know those? You want to know those, baby?
No, what is the truth? Give us the truth about Buddhism, because this is not the truth.
I think
Me?
Tina's
Yeah.
not correcting him so far.
Yeah.
No, I honestly I don't really know much about Buddhism.
Oh.
Yeah.
Were you raised in any sort of like? Did you have to go to church or anything for anything?
We had to pray, and then I remember like I was in a really big like mass thing. Like it was like a huge building where me and my parents would pray every Sunday. And so one Sunday everyone was like on their mats, and then I stretched out, and I was like maybe like 6 or 7. And then because we're in the downward dog position, right? Like obviously the angle and the velocity will make it easier for a fart to leave. And it's almost like it's not my fault. My body is just positioned.
God's fault.
It's God's fault. So obviously mistakes happen, and I let one out, and it was really loud. So then I sat up, and no one bothered. No one. It was like it didn't happen. And I'm like, you guys, this is crazy. I know we love God and everything, but like I literally just let a big fat hot turd out, and no one is.
Wait, you let a turd out?
Well, like it was like a very little one.
A ghost turd.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what a fart
And
is.
it's like, do you really love like God that much that you're willing to like kill all your senses? Like, do you not smell?
Sacrifice your senses.
Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do in that moment, right? What if it was you and someone near you let out a ghost turd?
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
But thou shall not fart shame.
Oh, true.
Thou shalt not fart shame is one of your.
Ghost turd.
I went to a Buddhist temple once a year or two ago. We were staying in Woodstock, New York, and like there's a pretty big one there. And we went to visit it, and there was like a woman walking around with like a silencer on her mouth, and she was like, "Don't talk to us," you know. She was like, "Don't say anything." So basically like doing that, you know. And we walked into the temple, and I had to take our shoes off and everything, and there was just people in there doing like burpees, basically, just like standing up and kneeling and standing up and kneeling again. You know what it was like called? It was really intense.
That's like a burpee.
I don't know. It was like they were exercising,
Praying.
and yeah, I guess it's praying, but it was pretty wild. And there is a feeling when you walk in there of like reverence or something. Like it feels like a special place. It's pretty interesting to walk into something like that I'm not familiar with. I didn't grow up with, and still feel that sense of like be chilling here, you know. But it's also decorated so interestingly. It's like it looks like the Fun Bubble or something. Like the way that everything's colored. It's like a lot of primary colors and like
I got something.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like painted fun. It's not very solemn in there, you know. I don't know if that's just a hippie Woodstock thing.
Our church growing up had a weird like pro-life message on it, but I can't remember what it was, and it took me a long time to even realize that that's what it was. Like it was a pretty ambiguous version of it, you know. But now looking back, it's like I think I don't like when churches do that.
Yeah. So
what the fuck did these men know? You know,
we're all generally agnostic here, or atheists. Or
yeah, I'm
I'm
generally atheist.
I don't know if I would say maybe pantheistic. I feel like there's something going on out there, but I wouldn't say I subscribe to a religion.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I did. I wish I did.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it her mouth move, but that's not happening.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Like when Conan does it.
Yeah,
Where are you finding these pictures? Are these presets in Zoom, Chris? What is this?
You can mess with the background.
And you just happen to have Janet Reno?
I know. I thought it would be funny if I looked up Janet Reno.
Do you know who
I,
Janet Reno is?
yeah, do you know who
Tina?
Janet Reno is?
No.
She was the Speaker of
Do
the
I?
House, right? For Bush or Clinton. No, for Bush. She was Speaker
Clinton.
of the House. Yeah. Oh, for Clinton?
I think Clinton, yeah.
Yeah, because she used to be the Janet Reno's party time. I
Yeah.
think there's two people. My rule of thumb: if you're going to change someone's background, there's the two funniest things to do is either Janet Reno or
Huh?
the woman who killed Selena. Those are your top. Those are going to get. I think those
The
are the
woman
best.
who killed the Mexican singer Selena?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
What do you type in for that?
Selena's manager.
Okay.
So
I,
what do you guys think happens to us when we die?
hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
Probably
think you die.
possibly nothing.
I definitely just think you die. I mean, if you're asking me, I don't think you go anywhere. I think like if anything, like your energy goes into the ground, and then like I don't know, maybe like other plants eat it, and like bits and pieces of your shit goes back into like other shit for a while. But to get back to where we are now in terms of like a human form, oh my god, it's like one in a million chances. That's crazy. You know?
I don't know. Yeah, it's wild.
My dream is obviously this is not real, but the reason why you're in a casket so comfortable is because you're laying there, and then what you get to do is a screen pops up, and then you get a remote to watch your life over, and you could rewind and change things and change directions and everything. Like that's my favorite idea. I love that, but
That's
obviously, it's gonna be darkness, and that's it.
I think a
Hmm.
big part of when you die, what happens is like a big chemical that like releases into your brain.
Oh,
If you die in a way that's like not like an instant explosion or something, I think, and um and I think that it kind of feels like an eternity in a way, like it feels
ooh.
like almost like a dream, how time is like fluid in a dream,
Mhm.
and because it's called DXM, I believe it's something that people or DMT, uh,
DMT.
yeah, and it's a drug you can do, but also it's what's released when you die. And I think that part of living a good life is so that when you do die, you can die peacefully without anything haunting you so much. So when that moment comes, hopefully you end up having like a good dream. You know, like there are
mm,
positive feelings when you go out, and you can experience those for like whoever I don't know how long, but like however long it feels. Maybe it's an eternity. Maybe it's quick, a flash. I don't know. But like if that's your last feeling ever, I think what you want is to have a good last feeling and to live a good life, to follow the golden rule or the cowboy 10, whatever it is. I think that's what the point of those is. You know.
But
yeah, I
doesn't
like
like
that.
the after part of that scare you? Like after all that experience and it's darkness, doesn't that kind of terrify you guys?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
I can't
I
even
I I,
fathom it, so I can't
it
even.
used to not, but then I had a moment where I was like kind of freaked out by the thought of it. Like, but it's also like it's a mystery, so it's kind of exciting too. Like it could be cool. I don't know.
I think
Who
the
knows?
best
This
end,
could be a simulation. Maybe there's a whole new thing after this.
which would be awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'm not too worried about that part. I'm more worried about the present. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'm not even I can't say that I'm luckily I'm not too worried about that. I feel pretty good. But um you got to just enjoy I don't know. I'm enjoying the moment, so I'm not trying to think about what happens too much, but if I had to think about it, it's probably similar to what is now. I don't know. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. Sleep is the cousin of death. I feel like maybe it's probably just like sleep.
That's Nas.
Yeah.
because it's all hypothetical, and you can't get once it's just all hypothetical, then and you don't know, so you just can't get hung up on it. It's that,
Yeah.
you know.
Bummer question, Tina.
No, it's a just because we're thinking about it doesn't mean it's a bummer.
Well, Tina, did you ever get in trouble by someone else's parents?
Yeah, let's bring it back full circle. I feel like you did. I feel like you
This
must
is the
have.
circle of life.
Well, Casey or Joe, did you ever get in trouble by someone else's parents?
Big
Oh,
time, yeah.
oh, my dad.
Oh, I guess I wasn't even thinking of that, but yeah.
Like as a
Nice.
kid?
I sent a dick pic to Casey's dad once.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking
Um,
about. I was thinking about the steak.
oh, I ate a bunch of steak that was I guess I was greedy about the steak. That's one of the cowboy commandments.
Yeah, it's true. Don't covet daddy's steak.
Um I didn't have a good sense of how much steak costs or what it takes to cook a good with steak at the time, Um, and we didn't have a lot of leftovers in the house. We kind of just like, everyone just went for it. So I guess I just didn't even think to leave the steak at the time that I ate it, that it was offered. But the time I'm thinking about when I got in trouble was a kid on the block was at like we used to have, there was this crew of kids in my neighborhood that hung out, and like one of them was out of town. Him and his parents went out of town. And he had a pretty cool pool in his backyard,
Oh,
and
I must have-
like they dared me or something to like go in the pool and then go in his shed and get all his he had like really super soakers. There's the classic one with the green tank and it's like a pump or whatever. He had like
Yes.
Super Soaker
really
2.
Yeah.
he had like really cool super soakers, like upgraded ones with like multiple tanks and sick pressure and stuff. So like I went in his shed and I took out the super soakers and threw them to my friends, jumped in his pool and filled them up, and like we had a blast. And my other friend's mom saw us because she could see over the fence, and she told my parents, she told this kid's parents. I got in big trouble for doing it. It was like a real issue, and I was mad. I was like, she ratted me out.
Yeah.
It was like it was harmless fun, and I don't think my parents were truly mad, but everyone else on the block was mad about it.
Hmm.
You know, it becomes more of a thing about liability. If I like died or something in the pool, I think as an adult you're concerned
The
about
what if?
having to call Jody Sellers about this whole thing.
Hmm.
But for me, it was just like fun in the backyard.
One
So I
time,
remember being very bitter about that.
this kid James Burns, and I called his mom hot to his face, and he told his stepdad that I said that, and there was like this family function going on, like it must have been in 8th grade or 7th grade.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, and like his stepdad came up to me, and it was like kind of weird because my parents were around and other people around. He's like, "Hey, man, you shouldn't really say that stuff about like James's mom like that. That's not respectful." And like I kind of was just like brushing him off because I didn't want it to turn into something like he was gonna get my mom involved. But yeah, he had to address me, which is so weird to do. I don't know if I would ever when we're parents if
I
we're gonna have
love
to
it.
address kids.
I love it.
like
He's just
that.
like, I love it. He's just like, hey, James told me that you said some shit about my girlfriend.
Yeah, basically.
If you say anything like that again, I'm gonna fuck your mom.
Say it to my face.
You try to fuck her, I'm gonna kill you. I one time, this is one of Lisa's favorite stories. She brings it up all the time. So I was at our friend Chrissy Ferragano's house. We were friends with Lisa and Chrissy Ferragano, and I was talking to their parents, and it was like just a night. Everyone was there, Conco, a bunch of people, and I would talk to
the plumber's calling.
who gives a shit, Joe? You
Yeah,
fucking,
Casey, you got the.
like we wouldn't get where he went. I don't even
plumber-
want to. I'm not even gonna tell this story.
Wait, Chrissy Ferragano, you got to do it.
Yeah. So I dated Chrissy for a little while, and like I was good friends with Lisa, but this was after it. But so I knew the family very well. The father's a firefighter, and my mom, worked for the fire department. So then, as I'm like inside the house, how like how you talk to parents, like your friends' parents, you're like, oh hi, how's it going? You're nice. I was doing that whole thing, And I was like saying how like, I don't know exactly, but I would actually like to be a firefighter one day. I think it would be really amazing to be a firefighter. It's a great job. My grandfather was one. It's just been a great job. And they were like, oh, that's so great. I think you'd be great at that, Cut to like 25, 30 minutes later, I'm outside like with Conco and everyone being friends and like being funny. And there's a tiki torch with a fire. And I'm putting my hand through it, going, fireman. and all of a sudden from behind me, Chrissy's mom comes up and is just like, Casey, please stop doing that. 25 minutes before, I was just like, you know what? I think I want to be a firefighter. And then I'm outside being like, fireman. Everyone's laughing, and I'm like, black is on my hand from it. And they're like, Casey, please, stop, please.
Love that story.
It's so embarrassing.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, what
Joe,
was the
we
follow?
were laughing. We were laughing because in the middle of the story, you were like, the plumber's here. Like we wouldn't fucking know where you went.
I'm just trying to
Where is this fucking hunk?
Oh, I remember once Jenny Miller was watching Skeeter, Janine's dog, and we were like FaceTiming with Janine, or like we made a video of me playing, and like I definitely showed like Skeeter's like wiener. I was like, oh look, I'm touching his wiener. But, like Janine like showed her like I guess it was a video, and then she shared the video with her family. So Mr. Haroni, like,
He didn't care, did he?
I think Janine was like, oh, that was a weird one for my parents to watch. like I hadn't seen them then. Years later, I saw them. They didn't bring it up, but like they definitely saw me be silly with Skeeter's weenie.
Tina, there's less than a minute left in this recording, so tell
Yeah.
us your story.
Oh well, I mean,
And if it cuts off,
I
We
mean,
can restart.
I just ate boogers as a kid.
Wait,
You
did
got in
someone
trouble?
notice?
You're so another parent get mad at you?
Yeah, because they saw me eat my own booger, and they're like, "You shouldn't do that. It's unhygienic." And I said, "Okay." And then they turned around and I kept eating it.
Well, that's that, folks.
Another great
Thank you
episode.
so much. I'm
Love
so
you guys.
glad. Tina, Chris, please come back another time. We should have
Later, Tina.
done a little bit more of the talking, but you guys were amazing as always.
we'll let you
Thank
guys do your own episode sometime.
Sounds good.
Like
all
and
right.
Bye, Joe.
subscribe, comment down below.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smash the
Wow.
like button.
Wow, you guys got it down.
Wait. You have to do play a song. I want you guys to play the Scambone song.
Okay. You want that right now at the end?
Yeah. Thanks.
Anything for you, Chris.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I wanna know.